All right, everyone, we are live from the Dowplex for the second day of the Halifax Trojan Aquatic Club February race weekend. This is the fourth session of this weekend's racing. Today, we're going to get things started with senior white, junior white, youth and youth blue groups. Swimming in a variety of events, starting things off with the women's 200-meter freestyle. We'll have two heats of the women's 200-meter freestyle, and then go right into one heat of men's 200-meter freestyle. in lane 1 is Eleanor Easley. Lane 2, Astrid Monkman. Lane 3, Zoe Booty. Lane 4, Fiona McKinnon. Lane 5, Heather Clark. 6, Lei Yang. 7, Ruby Lee. And lane 8, Marnie Bishop. Top seed in this event is Fiona McKinnon. She's entered with a time of 3:51.13. Only other swimmer in this heat that has an entry time is Heather Clark in lane 5, 3:51.93. So we'll see what the rest of the heat can do and post some pretty fast times. So as the swimmers start to come into that halfway mark, out in lane 8, Marnie Bishop has about a 5-meter lead over the rest of the field here. She'll turn with 100 meters to go, touching in a time of 1:19.94. Running second right now is Fiona McKinnon. Turns in a time of 1:23.59, followed by her teammate Lei Yang, 1:23.91. So it's still Marnie Bishop out in lane 8, having a great swim right now. She looks to the side to see her teammates cheering her on. And Marnie will be the first to turn with 50 meters to go in this 200-meter freestyle. Fiona McKinnon still running second, followed by Heather Clark. Asher Monkman comes in for the fourth turn. Heather Clark is running in 5th place right now. Over lane 3, that's Zoe Booty turning right now. And then Ruby Lee and Eleanor Easley are now on to their last 50. But from start to finish, Marnie Bishop having a great swim this 200-meter freestyle to get things going today. She'll dip under that 250 mark, it looks like. It'll be 2:49.51. Great swim for Marnie Bishop. Coming in second, that's Fiona McKinnon, 2:51.54. Touching third, that's Lei Yang, 2:59.66. Astrid Monkman will touch in a time of 3:03.11. Followed by Heather Clark, 3:04.86. Zoe Booty will come in and a time of 3:14.55. And a close battle for that last touch. It'll go to Ruby Lee, who will touch in a time of 3:23.75. And Eleanor Easley will touch in a time of 3:24.72. So great swim to get things going off on a Saturday afternoon. On to the second and final heat of the women's 200-meter freestyle. Swimming in lane 1, Gwyneth Morris. Lane 2, Ray Clearly. Lane 3, Catherine Todd. Lane 4, Maya Johnson. Lane 5, Meredith McDougall. 6, Clara Easley. 7, Gabriella Turcaru. And lane 8, Jezra Killett. All right, the swimmer with the top entry time is swimming in lane 4, Maya Johnson, 2:49.01 she's entered with. 50 meters into this race, Gabriella Turcaru is off to a quick start over in lane 7, followed closely by her teammate, Meredith McDougall, and Maya Johnson running third right now. So after this 200-meter freestyle, we'll head to the men's 200-meter freestyle and then go right into some 200-meter breaststrokes. So still Gabriella Turcaru leading the way, 100 meters down in this 200 meter race. She turns in a time of 1:14.03. Running second, now it's Maya Johnson, followed by Meredith McDougall. Turning and Maya Johnson in lane 4, starting to creep up a little bit on Gabrielle Turcaru in lane 7. Gabriella's entry time, a time of 3:32.00, so she's looking like she's going to be way under that entry time. Maya Johnson's entry time, 2:49.01, so we'll see what she can do. Still running third right now, that's Meredith McDougall, followed by Catherine Koch. Flipping there was Ray Clearly, followed by Gwyneth Morris, and ran out the field, Jesper Killett. So Maya Johnson having a great second half of this 200 meter freestyle. She'll take the second and final heat of this women's 200 meter freestyle. 2:49.01 was her entry time. Going to be way under that. She touches 2:34.34. Great swim by Maya there. As Gabriella comes in and touches time of 2:39.07. Taking a chunk of time off her entry time as well. Coming in for the touch for third, Meredith McDougall, 2:47.48. Followed closely by Catherine Koch in 2:52.88. And close battle there over in lane 1 and 2. It will go to lane number 2's Ray Clearly, 2:59.70. Followed by Gwyneth Morris, 3:00.10. And ran it at the field over in lane 8. Jesper Killett touched the time at 3:07.27. So a lot of swimmers underneath their entry time right there by a huge whack of time. So great swims by the ladies to get things going today. So we move on to the men's 200 meter freestyle. So we have a mixed 200 meter freestyle this one. In lane 2 right now it's Callie Benoit. Lane 3, Evan Thomas. Lane 4, Owen Wells. Lane 5, Adam Clark. Lane 6, Brody Hamilton. So top seed here is Owen Wells, 2:51.30. As he jumps out to the lead after 50 meters. Owen Wells entered with a time of 2:51.30. Adam Clark's entry time, 2:53.24. Evan Thomas's entry time, 3:21.57. So halfway through this 200 meter freestyle, it's Owen Wells. He turns in a time of 1:12.38. Followed by Adam Clark, a time of 1:17.89. Evan Thomas turns in a time of 1:23.49. And Clara in a time of 1:24.16. So it's all Owen Wells right now in this heat as he turns with 50 meters remaining, 1:53.14. He's going to be way under his entry time. Adam Clark also doing a great race right now, turns in time at 2:01.61. And a close battle with Callie and Evan. As Evan turns in a time at 2:09.93. And Callie in a time at 2:11.13. mixed 200 meter freestyle. Owen Wells, 251.30 entry time. He'll touch 234.03. Whack a time off his entry time. Coming in for that second touch, Adam Clark. He will touch in a time of 2:43.79. And great finish by Evan Thomas over in lane 3 to touch in a time of 2:49.88. And Callie will come in, touch in a time of 2:56.59. So great swims to conclude the 200 meter freestyle races. Great race in there by the Trojans. So we now move on to the women's 200 meter breaststroke. 4 swimmers in this race. Swimming in lane 3, Luca Rhodes. Lane 4, Erica Bloom. Lane 5, Ray Cleary. And lane 6, Maya Rosick. So after these 200 meter breaststrokes, we'll move on to the 100 meter breaststroke for both women and men. And then the shortest breaststroke race, the 50 meter breaststrokes. So lane 4, Erica Bloom, off to a hot start as she turns first in a time of 44.62. Erica Bloom and Ray Clearly, both in 4 and 5, are the only ones with entry times. Erica's entered with a time of 3:26.59. Ray's entered with a time of 4:10.93. All right, coming up to the halfway mark of this 200 meter breaststroke for women. Erica Bloom will be leading the way. She'll turn in time of 1:35.15. Maya Rosick having a great swim, just closely behind her teammate Erica, turns in a time of 1:36.68. Followed by Luca Rhodes, 1:42.29. And Ray Clearly will come turning in a time of 1:49.37. So 50 meters remaining for these 200 meter breaststrokers. One of the hardest things is finishing off a 200 meter breaststroke, but it looks like these ladies are doing a pretty good job of it. And starting to tighten up a little bit between Erica and Maya. Coming under the flags, it looks like it will be Erica Bloom. Entry time, 3:26.59. Oh, my apologies, they have another 50. I was skipped a little beat there. So 50 meters remaining for these swimmers right now. And they'll give 50 more meters for Maya to see if she can catch up to Erica, who's been leading this whole race the whole time. And we're on to the home stretch. Maya has lost her cap swimming in lane 6, but she's still powering home, challenging her teammate Erica. And over in lane 3, Luca having a great last 50 as well. Tight battle here, but it will be Maya Rosick, 3:21.46. And Erica Bloom's time doesn't seem to be... Oh, there we go. So Erica Bloom's time, 3:21.63. And Luca Rhodes, 3:22.60. So Maya will come away with the win there, 3:21.46. Great swims by those ladies there as Ray Clearly comes in. Her entry time, 4:10.93. She's going to be way under that entry time. As she touches 3:50.11, taking almost 20 seconds off her entry time. So great swims by those ladies in the 200 meter breaststroke. We see Meyer Asset going off to fetch her cap. That fell off midway through that race. All right, we move on to the men's 200-meter breaststroke. Only two swimmers in this event. Ethan Daniel swimming in lane 4, and Henry Bretzler swimming in lane 5. .50 meters in, Ethan Daniel off to a hot start. Turns in a time of 45.12, followed by his teammate Henry Bretzler turning in a time of 49.36. So after these 200-meter breaststrokes, we'll move on to the 100-meter breaststroke, followed by the 50-meter breaststrokes. So halfway through this 200-meter breaststroke, Ethan Daniel starting to pull away from Henry Bretzler, who's having a great swim as well. Daniel turned in a time of 1:36, as Henry will turn in a time of 1:48.42. So Ethan Daniel swimming in lane 4 will come in to turn with 50 meters remaining in this men's 200-meter breaststroke. Good two-hand touch there. He turns in a time of 2:28.77. Henry Bretzler coming in to turn for 50 meters remaining as well. 2:50.39. And Ethan Daniel coming in for that. Ethan Daniel, is going to be coming in for that win in this men's 200-meter breaststroke. He'll take the win. The time is 3:21.43. Great swim by Ethan Daniel right there. And Henry Bretzler, about 15 meters remaining. We'll finish off this 200-meter breaststroke. He's having a great swim, had some great turns there. He's going to touch in a time of 3:53.12. Great swim by Henry Bretzler there to close out the men's 200-meter breaststroke. So next up, women's 100-meter breaststroke. There will be one heat of this one. So 100-meter breaststroke underway. Few empty lanes in this one, but it's swimming in lane 1. That's Zoe Booty. Lane 2, Grace Waldman. Lane 3, Della Thomas. Over in lane 6, that's Abigail Malone. And lane 7, Fiona Lynn McKinnon. So 100-meter breaststroke. Over in lane 2, Grace Waldman's off to a hot start. Followed closely by Fiona McKinnon. Grace Waldman's not entered with a time, so we'll see what time she can post here. So halfway through, that's Grace Waldman turning a time of 46.5. Close battle for second between Della Thomas and Fiona McKinnon. So about 15 meters remaining for Grace Waldman, who's led from start to finish in this 100-meter breaststroke. Fiona over in lane 7, also having a great swim. But it'll be Grace Waldman who's going to take the win in a time of 1:39.55. Fiona will touch in a time of 1:42.06. Della Thomas touches in a time of 1:46.21. Zoe Booty, 1:48.49. And running out the field in lane 6, Ariel Rao, 1:56.55. So great swims by those ladies. And the one and only heat of the 100-meter breaststroke. It's the men's turn, as we have 3 swimmers in this heat. So, actually just 2 swimmers in this 100-meter breaststroke. Swimming in lane 4, that's Owen Wells. And lane 5, Weija Wen. So halfway through this men's 100-meter breaststroke, Owen Wells entered with a time of 1:34.70, turns in a time of 43.89. And Weija Wen turns in a time of 55.83, his entry time, a time of 1:56.75. So coming in for a fast touch, Owen Wells was entered with a time of 1:34.70. He'll be under that, 1:31.2. Weija Wells, 1:56.75 his entry time, as he will be just off that 1:57.6. Great swim by those men in the 100-meter breaststroke as we move on to the sprint breaststrokes. 50-meter breaststrokes up next. Starting off with the women's. All right, swimming in lane number 3, that's Ruby Martel. Lane 4, Caitlin Walker. And lane 5, Mary Lou O'Regan. And lane 6, Tessa Snedden. So, just 2 laps in this race. Top seed Caitlin Walker, 52.88. way back, it's Caitlin Walker leading the way right now, followed by her teammate, Mary Lou O'Regan. But it looks to be Caitlin Walker who will come in for that touch. And 47.48, taking about 5 seconds off her entry time. Mary Lou will come in at time of 51.70, followed by Ruby Martell, 56.49. And Tessa Snedden will touch in a time of 57.39. So a lot of best times there for the Summers as they conclude the women's 50-meter breaststroke. Next up is the men's 50-meter breaststroke. We have two swimmers in this one. Swimming in lane 4 will be Matthew Harding, and lane 5, Yusuf Aladalit. Oh, and another entry in lane number 3. That will be Miko Cruz. Alright, so Miko turns first at the 25-meter mark in this 50-meter breaststroke, having a great race so far. And a close battle between Yusuf and Matthew. Matthew's the only one with an entry time with 45.00. So as Miko comes in under the flags to take the win, he'll touch in a time of 43.47. Great swim by Miko. Yusuf will touch in a time of 46.80. 48.60, sorry. And a 49.2 for Matthew Hardin. Looks like the touchpads are having a little bit of technical error, so I'll try to read out the times as best as I can as they come up. But they look to be doing a little bit of a reset. So we move on to the women's 100-meter butterfly. Swimming in lane 3, Adam McClellan. Lane 4, Maya Johnson. And lane 5, Yale Bloom. So 4 laps of butterfly. Getting things started with the butterfly races. After this, we move on to the men's 100-meter butterfly, followed by the women's 50-meter butterfly and the men's 50-meter butterfly. Top seed in this women's 100-meter butterfly is Maya Johnson, 1:20.97. Yale Bloom is the only other one entered with an entry time, 1:30.26. As Maya turns first halfway through this race, 37.42, followed by Yale in 39.68, and Etta in 40.21. So close battle between Etta and Yale for that second and third spot. All right, Maya Johnson is going to come under the flags to take the win in this 100-meter butterfly. Entered with a 1:20.97. She's going to be close to that. Takes off about 0.3 of a second, 1:20.61. And Etta McClellan touches a 1:25.13, followed by Yale Bloom, 1:26.43. So great swims by those ladies as both Maya and Yale, the only ones with the entry times, get under those entry times. And Etta posting a pretty quick time in that 100-meter butterfly. So next up is the men's turn. Just two swimmers in this one. Swimming in lane 4, Adam Clark, and lane 5, Dmitry Popkov. So Adam Clark is the only one entered with a time at 1:29.18. Dmitry's entered with no time, so we'll see what he can do in the 100-meter butterfly. He's off to a hot start right now. It's about 15 meters remaining in this first 50. He looks to extend his lead. Great stroke by Dmitry there. And a great kick by Adam Clark over in lane 4. So Dmitry turns in a time of 33.59. And Adam will turn in a time of 37.87. So Dmitry Popkov led from start to finish. Doesn't have an entry time attached to him, so we'll see what he can do as he comes under the flags here. He'll take the win in a time of 1:14.95. Adam Clark is going to be way under his entry time as well, as he comes in for the touch in a time of 1:25.51. There we go. So 4 seconds under his entry time. Great swim by the two guys there. So next up, it's a sprint butterfly race. This 50-meter butterfly, starting with the women's 50-meter butterfly. So before we start this 50-meter butterfly, they're just recruiting some timers. A lot of swimmers are getting out of the pool and jumping right up to time for their teammates. Alrighty, looks like we're ready to start the 50-meter butterflies. So in lane 3, that's Bianca Corsetti. Lane 4, Lily Rooney. That's Thibaut Martin. He's entered with a time of 35.00, so we'll see if he can get under that entry time. So Thibaut having a great swim just all by himself there. Entry time 35.00, going to be tight to beat that one, but we'll see what he comes into as he touches 36.31. Great swim by Thibaut to swim by himself in that 50-meter butterfly. That wraps up the 50-meter butterflies. Alright. A little bit of a scramble there as Sylvia Waldman just swam a 50 breaststroke and is right back up to do a 100 meter freestyle. As the officials tell her to catch her breath before she jumps in for this 100 meter freestyle. So this is a heat 1 of 2 for the women's 100 meter freestyle. So in lane 2, that's Sylvia Waldman. Lane 3, Chloe Anderson. Lane 4, Maya Rasic. Lane 5, Lucas Rhodes. And lane 6, Tessa Snedden. So we'll see what these ladies can do in the first heat of the women's 100 meter freestyle. Like I said, Sylvia Waldman swam a 50 breaststroke about 2 minutes ago and got right back in for the 100 meter freestyle. So jumping out to that early lead, Maya Rasic, 11 years old. She comes in with 5 meters remaining in this first 50 meters, turning a time of 36:01. Running second, Sylvia Waldman, 96, followed by Lucas Rhodes, Chloe Anderson, and Tessa Snedden coming in to turn for that last 50 meters. So from start to finish, Maya Rasic, she brings in the legs a bit to close out this first heat of the 100 meter freestyle. She's not entered with the time, so we'll see what she can post here. Coming to the flag, she'll touch in a time of 1:14.81. Great swim by Maya there. Close battle between Luca Rhodes and Sylvia Waldman. As it looks to be Luca, who will touch in a time of 1:25.63, followed by Sylvia, 1:26.61. Chloe Anderson, swimming in lane 3, will come in for the touch at 1:32.34. And Tessa Snedden, about 5 meters remaining for her. She'll take the touch and a time of... Oh, the touchpad is being fussy again and didn't come up. So, 1:52.61. 1:47.52 actually, so great swim by Tessa. It seems to be lane 6 is the stubborn touchpad that doesn't seem to be registering, so we'll keep an eye on that one. This is the second heat of the women's 100 meter freestyle. Alrighty, we've got a full heat here for the second heat of the 100 meter freestyle. Swimming in lane 1, Dallas Thomas. Lane 2, Caitlin Walker. Lane 3, Mary Lou O'Regan. Lane 4, Ella Boudreau. Lane 5, Meredith McDougall. Lane 6, Emma Abidud. 7, Isla Stanford. And lane 8, Ruby Martel. So top seed is Ella Boudreau, entered with a time of 1:16.05. And Ella's jumping out to the lead right from the get-go. As she turns with 50 meters remaining, turning in time at 32:70, followed by her teammate, Meredith McDougall. And running third right now, that's Caitlin Walker over in lane 2. So Ella Boudreau led from start to finish. Her entry time 1:16.05. She's going to be way under that entry time. Touching a time of 1:09.97, getting under that 1:10 mark. Great swim by Ella there. Meredith McDougall coming in for the touch. 1:16.67, followed by Caitlin Walker. 1:20.22. Mary Lou O'Regan touches in a time. Oh, touchpad being finicky, but lane 6, Emma Abiadud, time of 1:25.78. Dallas Thomas, 1:27.92. Isla Sanford, 1:30.70. And Ruby Martel, 1:41. 51.98. So we'll see if they update Mary Lou O'Regan's time on the board, as she might have had a soft touch on that touchpad. So great swim by those ladies to finish off the 100-meter freestyle for women. And Mary Lou O'Regan's time is registering as a 2:11.73, but that's not correct. I think she might have just had a soft touch at the end there. So in the final results, it will reflect Mary Lou's actual time. All right, this is the one and only heat of the men's 100-meter freestyle. Swimming in lane 4 is Ethan Daniel. And swimming in lane 5, Matthew Hurdin. So Ethan Daniel and Matthew Harley battling out in the 100-meter freestyle. Ethan is the only one with an entry time here, entered with a time of 1:29.16. They turn basically at the same time, with Ethan leading ever so slightly, 37.74. Matthew turns in a time of 38.35. And 25 meters remaining for these boys, Ethan and Matthew. Ethan bringing in the legs behind him, trying to finish off this 100-meter freestyle. Matthew now bringing in his legs. Ethan's entry time, 1:29.16, going to be about 10 seconds under that, 1:17.45. And Matthew will touch in a time of 1:22.24, so great swims by those gentlemen. Wrap up the 100-meter freestyle. Next up, it's the splash and dash, 50-meter freestyle. Starting out things with the women's. Just one heat of this 50-meter free. Swimming in lane 2, that's Piper Farwell. Lane 3, Erica Bloom. Lane 4, Gabriella Turk-Carew. Lane 5, Brianna Llewellyn. Lane 6, Abigail Malone. And lane 7, Isabella Brzovin. So lane 4, Gabrielle Turk-Carew, entered with a time of 32.00. She's going to be just under that, 31.53. Great swim by Gabriella there. Taking the second touch will be Isabella, 34.47. Followed by Erica Bloom, 34.84. Lane number 6, Abigail Malone, will touch in a time of 42.38. And Piper Farwell, 42.62. Some great swims by those ladies there. So we move on to the men's 50-meter freestyle. Just one heat of this as well. Miko Cruz. Lane 3, Guido Wen. Lane 4, Paulo Garonha Darda. Lane 5, Thibaut Martin. Lane 6, Mario Rayo. And lane 7, Yusef Alabdalat. So Paulo's going to come away with the win here. Entry time 28.83, touches in time at 30.06. Oh, goggles fell off too at the start, so great swim by Paulo. Miko will touch in a time of 31.84. Thibaut Martin will touch in a time of 33.86. Lane number 7's Yusuf will touch in a time of 40.68, followed by Ouija in 41.83. So that concludes the 50-meter freestyle. As we move on to the backstrokes, starting things off with just one heat of the women's 200-meter backstroke. Alright, women's 200-meter backstroke. Took a little break to get those backstroke ledges installed. Three swimmers in this women's 200-meter backstroke. Swimming in lane 3, Jezra Killet. Lane number 4, Isabella Brzovin. And lane number 5, Avery Stad. After this 200-meter backstroke, we'll move on to the 100-meter backstroke for women, followed by the men's 100-meter backstroke, and then the sprint backstrokes with a 50 for both women and men. After the backstrokes, we'll head to the 200-meter IM, one heat of both men and women, and that will wrap up the first session of this afternoon's races. And we'll get things going with the 400 IMs for both, and 400 frees for national development, senior blue and junior blue and youth blue at about 2:30 or 2:40. So halfway through this 200-meter backstroke for the ladies. That's Avery Stade, turning a time of 1:26.11, followed by Jezra Killet in a time of 1:27.67. And Isabella Brzovin also turning at the 100-meter mark. Meters remaining. Avery is leading the way, turning in a time of 2:12.82, followed by her teammate Jezra. And Isabella coming coming under the flags to turn with 50 meters remaining as well. So Avery led from start to finish. Her entry time is a 3:11.27. See if she can get under that. Jezra's entry time 3:22.87. And Avery will come under the flags to take the win in the 200 meter backstroke. Going to be under that 3-minute mark, 2:56.00. Great swim by Avery there. And Jezra picks up her arms a little bit. Come in for the touch, 3:02.84. And Isabella starting to pick up her tempo. The last 5 meters, she's going to come in and touch it. A time is 3. And once again, the touch pad's being fussy. 3:14.30. There we go. So great swim by those ladies in the 200 meter backstroke. We move on to the next women's event, the women's 100 meter backstroke, as there's no men's 200 meter backstrokers. Alright, this is the first heat of the women's 100 meter backstroke, as the officials remind them that they have to have some toes touching the touch pad for the start. Swimming in lane 2, Piper Farwell. Lane 3, Marty Bishop. Lane 4, Chloe Anderson. Lane 5, Ruby Lee. And lane 6, Lei Yang. And they're off. So your top seed. Actually, every swimmer in this heat entered with no time, so we'll see what the times they can post in this first heat on the 100 meter backstroke. So Lei Yang over in lane 6, off to a hard start as she's leading the way after the first 50 meters of this 100 meter backstroke, turning in a time of 42.03. She's followed by her teammate, Marty Bishop. Over in lane 3, running 4th is Piper Farwell. And Chloe Anderson and Ruby Lee follow closely behind. So from start to finish, Lei Yang will come in for that first touch. She will take the win in a time of 1:28.11. Marty Bishop coming in for the second touch as once again, the touch pads are being fussy, but she comes up now 1:30.65. And close little battle with the rest of the swimmers. Lane number 5 is Ruby Lee, 1:44.74, followed by Piper Farwell, 1:45.68, and Chloe Anderson, 1:45. So that was the first heat of the women's 100 meter backstroke. We move on to that second heat. Alright, we're getting started with the second heat of the 100-meter backstroke for women. Second and final heat, I should say. Swimming in lane 1, that's Astrid Monkman. Lane 2, Isla Sanford. Lane 4, Ella Boudreau. Lane 6, Gwyneth Morris. Lane 7, Lauren Hall. And lane 8, Bianca Corsetti. Alright, this is the second and final heat of the women's 100-meter backstroke. Top seed is Ella Boudreau, entered with a time of 1:24.08. So Ella Boudreau will turn first with 15 minutes remaining, 37.90. She has an entry time of 1:24.08, so if she keeps this pace up, she's going to be way under that time. Running second right now is Astrid Monkman over in lane 1, followed by her teammate Isla Sanford. So leading from start to finish, Ella Boudreau turns for her last 25 meters of this 100-meter backstroke. This will wrap up the women's 100-meter backstroke. And Ella Boudreau takes a whack of time off her entry time, 1:18.63. Great swim by Ella there. Over in lane 1, Astrid Monkman. She's going to come in for that second touch. Didn't have an entry time at the start, but she'll take the touch in a time of 1:33.94. And close battle for that third touch, but it will go to Clara Eastley. Oh, I'm sorry, Isla Sanford, 1:39.02. Gwyneth Morris will touch in a time of 1:39.43. Bianca Corsetti in a time of 1:46.84. And Lauren Hall. Time doesn't. Oh, there it is. 2:00. 1:57.57 for Lauren Hall. Alright, so that was the last heat of that 100-meter backstroke for women. Just one heat of the men's 100-meter backstroke. And 3 swimmers in this heat. Swimming in lane number 3, Henry Bretzler. Lane 4, Paulo Barona Darda. And lane 5, Evan Thomas. So after this 100-meter backstroke, we move on to the 50-meter backstrokes. There's one heat of women's and men's, and then concluding this session will be the 200-meter IM. Top seed in this heat, Paulo Barona Darda, 1:28.39. Evan Thomas is entered in a time of 1:34.37. And Henry Bretzler, 1:53.85. So we'll see if any of those swimmers can get under those entry times. Halfway through, Paulo turns in a time of 39.20, followed by Evan Thomas. And Henry Bretzler now on to that last 50 meters. And Paulo will turn with 25 meters remaining in this 100-meter backstroke for men. Reminder, his entry time, 1:28.39, is going to be way under that entry time. Touches first in a time of the touchpad once again being a little bit slow. 1:20.95 for Paulo there. Lane number 5, Evan Thomas, 1:26.57. third touch in a time of 1:43.94. All right, just 4 more races in this first session of the February race weekend. All right, 4 swimmers in this sole heat of the women's 50-meter backstroke. Swimming in lane number 3, Heather Clark. Lane number 4, Ava Corey. Lane 5, Emma Abby Dowd. And lane number 6, Grace Waldman. Top seed is Ava, time of 48:35 in lane 4. Ava Corey, entry time 48:35. She's leading this from start to finish. See if she can get under that entry time. She comes under the flags, touch in a time of 42:13 for Ava. Great swim by her. Grace Waldman touched in time of 44:77, followed by Heather Clark in a time of 47:74. And in lane 5, Emma Abby Dowd, 48:90. So great swims by those ladies there as they wrap up that 50-meter backstroke. All right, so no 50-meter backstroke actually, so we're going right to the 200-meter IM for women's as they are just moving the backstroke start ledges. So the last 2 races of this first session of the afternoon, it's women's 200-meter IM, and followed by 1 heat of the men's 200-meter IM. We'll then take a little bit of a break to get ready for the national development, senior blue, junior blue, and youth blue. We'll be swimming 400 IMs and 400-meter freestyles. Alrighty, just 1 heat of this women's 200-meter IM. Swimming in lane 3, Eleanor Eastley. Lane number 5, Lily Rooney. And lane 6, Lauren Hall. So 2 laps of each stroke on this 200-meter IM. Anything started with butterfly. Lily Rooney pulling herself out in front off the butterfly portion. She turns in a time of 44:39. Lily's entered with a time of 30:33.03. Running second right now, that's Eleanor Eastley in lane 3. She turns in time of 52:70. Followed by Lauren Hall, 55:78. All swimmers now on the backstroke portion. So Lily Rooney, halfway through the 200 meter IM, turns onto the breaststroke, 1:33.34. Off to a great start in the 200 meter IM. Her two teammates, Eleanor and Lauren, still on the backstroke, but coming in to switch on breaststroke soon. As Eleanor turns in a time of 1:51.36. And Lauren Hall turns in a time of 2:02.66. So all swimmers now on the breaststroke leg. Still Lily Rooney right now leading the way. And Lily Rooney, 50 meters remaining for her swim. She turns 2:32.04 for entry time with a 3:33.03. So if she keeps this pace up, she's going to be way under that entry time. Eleanor Easley coming in with 5 meters remaining in the breaststroke part. 4:09.33 was her entry time. And she's looking like she's going to be way under that time as she turns in 2:52.93. And Lauren Hall about to come in and turn onto that freestyle portion. 4:19.07 was her entry time. So see what she can do on these last 50 meters. Coming in with 5 meters remaining, Lily Rooney. Great swim all around for Lily. 3:15.83. Great swim by Lily Rooney. Taking about 18 seconds off her entry time. Looks to be happy with that race. Eleanor Easley, about 10 meters remaining for her. 4:09.33 was her entry time, so let's see if she can get under that time. And she'll touch in time at 3:45.41. So almost, about 25 seconds off her entry time by Eleanor. And Lauren Hall entered with the 4:19.07. She'll touch 4:00.71, almost under that 4-minute mark. It takes off 19 seconds off her entry time. So great swim by those ladies to wrap up the women's portion of this first session. Next up is the final heat of this first session. It's the men's 200 IM. Just one swimmer in this heat. That's Dmitry Popkov, entered with no time, so we'll see what he can post. So it's just Dmitry in this 200 meter IM. Has his teammates on the side cheering for him. He comes in with a strong butterfly. Great reach there in that butterfly. Turning in a time of 32.79. Turning on to that backstroke portion of the race. And Dmitry coming in to turn onto the breaststroke. Having a great swim. Turns at 1:12.91 onto the breaststroke portion, halfway through this race. Got his teammates on the side cheering him on as he's a lone swimmer in this final heat. So Dmitry, 10 meters remaining in this breaststroke portion. So he turns with 50 meters remaining to close out this session of the weekend. He turned in a time of 2:03.92 there. Meters remaining for Dmitry Popkov, 13 years old. He's been all by himself in this heat. He'll look to get under that 250 mark. It's going to be close. 242, 243, and Dmitry 243.31 takes the win as the only swimmer, but great swim by Dmitry just to be swimming by himself in that heat. So that will wrap up the first session of this afternoon swimming. We'll be back with 400 meter freestyle for the national development, senior blue, junior blue, and youth blue. So starting with 400 IMs, and then a bunch of heats of 400 frees. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. get started with event number 19. It's a women's 400-meter IM. There's just one heat of 400 IM for women's and one heat for 400 IM for men. So we'll see what these swimmers can do. All right, they look to get things started. So this is the first and only heat of the women's 400 IM. 4 swimmers in this one. Swimming in lane 3, Isabel Hussey. Lane 4, Aideen McGrath. Lane 5, Lily Collins. Lane 6, Edna McClellan. So 400 IM, 4 laps of each stroke. Tough event, but we'll see what these swimmers can do. So 50 meters down, Aideen McGrath leading the way, 33:09. Aideen's entered with a time of 5:40:48. Isabel entered with a time of 6:50:36. Lily entered with a time of 6:34:90. And Edna McClellan in lane 6 is entered with no time, so we'll see what she can do, what time she can post. So Aideen McGrath, 14-year-old, swimming on lane 4, off to a hot start, 1:09:30 in that butterfly portion. It's a great first 100 for Aideen as Isabel comes in, touching onto the backstroke, 1:17:40 for her butterfly. And Lily Collins, 1:23:17, turns onto the backstroke. And coming in, turn on the backstroke now, Edna McClellan, 1:31:03. So all swimmers on the backstroke portion right now. So after this first heat of women's 400 IM, we have a heat of men's 400 IM, and then 6 heats of mixed 400 free to wrap up this afternoon session. So Aideen McGrath still leading, having a great backstroke portion right now. So halfway through this 400 IM, Aideen McGrath turns the time of 2:27:61. She turns onto the breaststroke portion. Still Isabel running second right now. She comes on to the halfway mark, 2:46:22. And Lily Collins coming in for that touch, 2:53:65 onto that breaststroke portion. And Edna McClellan, halfway through her race, 3:07:72. So Aideen McGrath coming in to close out that breaststroke portion. 100 meters to go for her. 3:58:20. She's having a strong swim right now. Reminder, her entry time, 5:40:48. She's going to be way under that entry time. Edna McClellan turns with 50 meters to go in her breaststroke portion of the race. Medley on to the freestyle portion. 100 meters to go for her. And Lily Collins comes in to turn onto her front freestyle portion as Adie McGrath turns 50 meters to go in her 400 IM. Great swim by all these ladies so far. As Edda comes in to touch and turn with 100 meters to go for her 400 IM. So Edda's off to a hot swim right now, 4:57.57. 50 meters to go for Isabel over in lane 3 as Adine McGrath comes in for the touch. She's having a great swim. Touches 5:10.19. Great swim by Adine McGrath. Takes about 30 seconds off her entry time. Strong all around. So Edda's going to come and turn for 50 meters to go in her 400 IM. As Isabel comes in to touch in a time of 5:45.47, followed by Lily Collins, 5:47.36. So both of those girls taking a whack of time off their entry time. Isabel's entry time was 6:50.36. She takes about a minute and she takes about, 54 seconds off. And Lily Collins was entered with a 6:34.90, and she touched in a time of 5:47.36. So also a huge chunk of time off as Edda picks up the legs to come under the flags to take that 400 IM. She touches 6:23.41. So great swims by those girls there. Big smiles on Edda's face as she wraps up that 400 IM. All right, we're on to the men's 400 IM. 5 swimmers in this one. So this is the one and only heat of the men's 400 IM. Swimming in lane 2, that's Charlie Lucky. Lane 3, Alexander Bouchard. Lane 4, Liam Ferguson. Lane 5, Owen Nicholson. And lane 6, Ryan Hall. So top seed in this heat, Liam Ferguson, was the Nova Scotia Age Group Swimmer of the Year when the awards were handed out last night. He's entered with a time of 4:58.87. Owen Nicholson in swimming in lane 5, entry time of 5:05.15. Alexander Bouchard, entry time of 5:21.78. Ryan Hall, entry time of 6:39.68. And Charlie Lucky over in lane 2 entered with no time, so we'll see what he can do. But off the butterfly portion, it's Liam Ferguson turning in a time of 1:01.95. Close battle for second between lane 5's Owen Nicholson and lane 3 Alexander Bouchard. And Charlie Lucky now in the backstroke as well, as Ryan Hall finishes his butterfly portion, turning in a time of 1:18.84. Liam Ferguson turns 50 meters down his backstroke. Great backstroker Liam is, so we'll see if he can get a little more distance from the rest of the field. So Liam Ferguson finishes off that backstroke 2:12.52 onto the breaststroke portion. Owen Nicholson and Alexander Bouchard also on that breaststroke portion. Owen turns in time at 2:20.16 as 2, Charlie Leckie, 2:29.72. As Ryan Hall comes in to finish off his backstroke portion of the 400 IM, turning in a time of 2:44.80. So all swimmers now on the breaststroke portion. As Liam Ferguson, 50 meters remaining in the breaststroke. So leading from start to finish, Liam Ferguson, 100 meters to go for him. 3:37.50. Reminder, his entry time, 4:58.87. So he's going to be way under that entry time of his. Owen Nicholson turns on with 100 meters to go, 3:43.98. Followed by Alexander Broussard, 3:47.68. So Liam Ferguson coming under the flags with 15 meters to go in this 400 IM. Owen Nicholson had a great breaststroke portion of that race and is closing fast in this freestyle. And Alexander Bouchard also 50 meters to go for him. As Ryan Hall comes in to finish off that breaststroke portion and turn on to the freestyle. Last 100 meters for him. But he shot out in the butterfly and held on to the lead all the way through. Liam Ferguson entered with a time of 4:58.87. He's going to take the win. 4:44.81, smashing his best time there. As Owen Nicholson touched the time of 4:49.45. Great swim by Owen. As Alexander Bouchard comes in for the touch, 4:58.85, also getting under that 5-minute mark. Some great swim by those gentlemen there. As Ryan turns with 15 meters to go as Charlie comes in for that touch. 5:10.51 for Charlie. So Ryan Hall was entered with a time of 6:39.68, and at the rate he's going to be way under that entry time as well. So some great swimming by the Trojans here. And Ryan Hall coming to the flags, touches in a time of 5:46.64. Great swims by those 400 IMers. As we move on to the 400 free, we'll alternate between men and women heat. Alright, this is the first heat of the 400 meter freestyle. Once again, a reminder, we're alternating between women's and men's heats. This is the fastest women's heat. Swimming in lane 1, Ileana McDonald. Lane 2, Sophie Rooney. Lane 3, Juliette Dagneau. Lane 4, Hannah Mountford. Lane 5, Marianne Simpson. Lane 6, Charlotte Evans. Lane 7, Katarina Brezovin. And in lane 8, Ashley McKenna. So 16 laps of the pool for these girls. As Hannah Mumford is jumping out to the lead right from the get-go. Her best time, 4:30.61. As 100 meters down, Hannah Mumford leading the way, followed very closely by Sophie Rooney and Marion Sinishin. Marion Sinishin was the age group female athlete of the year for last year's season. She broke the 15:17 provincial record for the 50-meter breaststroke last season. And things are tightening up a bit as we have a three-way battle between Sophie Rooney, Hannah Mumford, and Marion Sinishin. And Juliet Dagno followed closely behind the three swimmers there. Halfway through the race, got a three-way battle, but leading the way is Sophie Rooney, followed by Hannah Mumford and Marion Sinishin. Sophie turned in a time at 2:14.62. Juliet Dagno in lane 3, also having a great swim, just sitting on the hips of her teammates. Sophie Rooney, your leader, is entered with a time of 4:52.06, so she keeps this rate up, she'll be way under that time. So after this fastest heat of women's 400-meter freestyles, we'll move on to the fastest heat of the men's 400-meter freestyles. So 250 down. Still Sophie Rooney, 324. 00. Hannah Mumford holding on to that second position right now. And Juliet Dagno has moved into that third position, just ahead of Marion Sinishin. So Sophie Rooney having a great swim, 3:58.47. She just keeps extending her lead over the rest of her teammates. Getting a close battle for second between Hannah Mumford and Juliet Dagno. But this race quickly turned into all Sophie Rooney. She's going to come in for the touch and take the win, 4:32.07, taking 20 seconds off her entry time. Close battle for second, but will go to Hannah Mumford, 4:35.65, followed by Juliet Dagno, 4:36.05. Marion Sinishin will touch in a time of 4:40.62. Charlotte Evans, 4:45.92. Ashley McKenna, 4:50.56. Elena McDonald, 4:51.23, and a 4:51.60 for Katarina Brzoven. So some great swims by all those ladies in the fastest heat of 400 free. A couple best times there for some of the swimmers there, but we move on to the fastest heat of the men's 400 meter freestyle. Got a full heat here as well. All right, this is the fastest heat of the 400 meter freestyle for men. Swimming in lane 1, Hassan Hosni. Lane 2, Andrew Barsoom. Lane 3, Agaran Ramos. Lane 4, your top seed, Will Meyer. Lane 5, Ian Moncheski. Lane 6, Wyatt Johnson. Lane 7, Jonathan Earl. And lane 8, Cameron Harding. So your top seed in this heat, Will Meyer, is entered with a time of 4:24.61. His teammate next to him, Agaran Ramos, comes in to lead the first 100 meters of this 400 race. His entry time, 4:30.00. Running third right now, Andrew Barsoom over in lane 2. So Will Meyer and Agaran Ramos starting to distance himself from the rest of the field, turning basically identically, separated by just 0.2 of a second. So Will Meyer starting to pull a little bit away from Agaran Ramos. Will Meyer starting to bring in the legs a little bit off that halfway mark. That third 100 is an important 100 as people start to slip a little bit and get tired, but Will Meyer starting to pull away from the rest of his teammates. Running third right now is Wyatt Johnson over in lane 6 as he's battling out with his teammate Ian Moncheski. So Will Meyer is bringing in the legs to have a strong 400 meter freestyle. 100 meters to go for him, turning in a time of 3:11.51. Still running second, Andrew Barson, or Agaran Ramos, sorry. And close battle for third between Ian Moncheski and Wyatt Johnson. But it's all Will Meyer. Entry time of 4:24.61. He's turning with 50 meters to go. 3:43.56. And it's not looking like he's going to be slowing down anytime soon as he looks to dip under that entry time. Agaran Ramos having a great swim as well, holding on to that second position. And it is Will Meyer taking the win for 14.96. Takes off 10 seconds off his entry time. Agaran Ramos will take second in a time of, touchpad not coming up. But a close battle for that third position between Ian Moncheski and Wyatt Johnson goes to Ian Moncheski 4:26.18, followed by Wyatt Johnson 4:26.19.01. So Agaran Ramos' time was a 4:23.67 has popped up. Lane 1 Hassan Hosni 4:31.19. Oh, the times have been cleared, unfortunately. So we'll have to wait for the final results there. We now move on to the second heat of the women's 400 free, third heat overall. second heat of the women's 400 free. Full heat as well. After this heat, we have 3 more heats of 400 meter free. Swimming in lane 1, Carly Meyer. Lane 2, Emma Hamlin. Lane 3, Allison Redfern. Lane 4, Isabel Melanson. Lane 5, Cassidy Carroll. Lane 6, Aaliyah Bloom. Lane 7, Olivia Scriven. And in lane 8, Ella Collins. Your top seed in this heat is Isabel Melanson, entry time of 4:56.89. So with about 100, coming into that 100-meter mark, Isabel is leading the way. She turns in a time of 1:05.44. So 150 meters into this race, Isabel Melanson still leading the way, but Emma Hamlin over in lane 2 having a great swim as well. Emma's entered in a time of 5:09.57. So 200 meters into this 400 meter free, Isabel Melanson leading the way, followed very closely by her teammate Emma Hamlin. Isabel turned in a time of 2:17.83. Emma in a time of 2:19.50. And then a close battle for those 3rd, 4th, and 5th positions between lane number 3's Allison Redfern, lane number 5 Cassidy Carroll, and lane number 6 Aaliyah Bloom. So as Isabel comes in at the 300 meter mark, she's still holding on to lead ever so slightly over Emma Hamlin. Those swimmers are well ahead of the 3rd place Aaliyah Bloom right now, but Aaliyah's in a battle with Allison Redfern and Cassie Carroll. Isabel entered with a time of 4:56.89, so we'll see if she can get under that. So Isabel Melanson still leading the way with 50 meters to go for her. Emma Hamlin's comfortably in the 2nd position right now. And Aaliyah Bloom holding on to that 3rd position. So right from the get-go of the race, Isabel Melanson was leading the way. Entry time, 4:56.89. She comes under the flags to touch, way under that entry. 4:40.48. Emma Hamlin, 5:09.57 touches in the time. 4:45.12. Way under her entry time as well. And a close battle for 3rd, but it goes to will touch in a time of 4:54.20. Carly Meyer touching a time of 5:01.45. Olivia Scriven will touch in a time of 5:08.39. And coming in, Ella Collins, she's going to be way under her entry time as well. Takes it in a 5:18.92, so a lot of swimmers there underneath their entry time. Great swim by all those ladies. Alright, little scramble there as we have a heat of boys, 3 boys in this heat. Alright, just 2 boys in this heat actually. Swimming in lane 3, Oliver Bourne, and lane 4, Sean Yu. So after this heat, we're halfway through the 400-meter freestyles for the session. We have this heat, heat of women, and then one final heat of men to wrap up the February race weekend with the Halifax Trojans. So Sean Yu, swimming in lane 4, is entered in a time of 5:20.41. Oliver Bourne in lane 3 entered with a time of 5:45.16. So halfway through this 400-meter freestyle, Sean Yu leading the way, 2:26.31. As Oliver Bourne comes in for his halfway mark, 2:32.49. led from start to finish. She turns at 3:44.65. Oliver Bourne, his teammate, will turn at a time of 3:53.65. So after this race, we have just one more heat of female 400 free and one heat of male 400 free to wrap things up for this weekend's racing. And 50 meters to go for Sean Yu, as well as Oliver Bourne, as they look to wrap things up in this 400 meter free. So Sean Yu coming under the flags to take the win in the second male heat of 400 frees. He'll take it. 5:01.51, just missing getting under that 5-minute mark, but way under his entry time of 5:20. And Oliver Bourne was entered with 5:45, but he'll take the touch 5:12.37. 30 seconds plus off his entry time, so great swims by those two boys. Alright, we're on to the last two heats. This is the final women's heat of the 400 free and of the weekend. Alright, we've got a full heat for this last female heat. Swimming in lane 1, Megan McQuarrie. Lane 2, Bridget Gregan. Lane 3, Jillian Thomas. Lane 4, Gabriella Morris. Lane 5, Anna Field. Lane 6, Natasha Frame. Lane 7, Elizabeth Cormier. And in lane 8, Jordan Daigle. So leading the way after 100 meters of this 400 race, that's Anna Field. Swimming in lane 5, she turns at 1:12.54. Close battle, bunched up is the rest of her teammates. Anna Field's entry time is a 5:31.87. So coming up to the halfway portion of this final women's heat of 400 free, Anna Field having a great swim. She jumped out to the lead at the start and is still holding on. She turns at 2:32.76. She keeps this pace up. She's going to be way under her entry time of 5:31.87. Field starting to come back on Anna, but she's still leading the way with 100 meters to go. Sorry, 150 meters to go for her, but still leading the way as her teammate, Natasha Frame, in lane 6. Starting to creep up a little bit. Natasha's entered with a time of 5:38.31. So as Anna Field starts to bring in her legs, she gets ready to close out this race. She's got 100 meters to go after this turn. Over in lane 2, Bridget Gregan having a great swim as well. She starts to move up. She's now in second, followed by Natasha Frame in lane 6. Bridget over in lane 2 entered with a 5:39.58, so these swimmers keep them up. They're going to be way under their entry times. And Anna Field bringing in the legs to close out this 400 meters. For women, going to be way under her entry time. Touches 5:09.61. Great swim. Bridget Gregan, 5:13.87. Touching third, Natasha Frame, 5:15.96. Gabriella Morris, 5:17.55. Lane 7, Elizabeth Cormier lost her cap in the race, but touches in 5:26.37 under her entry time. Jillian Thomas touches in a time of 5:29.75. Meg McQuarrie touches in a time of 5:31.06. And Jordan Daggle in lane 8 coming in for her touch. She also lost her cap. Touches on a time of 5:50.00. So all those swimmers under their entry time there. Great swims by all those ladies to wrap up the women's 400 meter freestyle. So last heat. It's another women's heat. Sorry, there's no more men's swimming. So this is the final women's heat of 400 meter free. So swimming in lane 2, Finley McCauley. Lane 3, Maria McDougall. Lane 4, Taryn Donnelly. Lane 5, Yale Bloom. Lane 6, Emily McKenzie. And wrapping things up in lane 7, Avery Stade. So this is the last heat of the race weekend with the Trojans. Some great racing this week, a lot of best times. And a good marker to see where these swimmers are at, especially in a COVID world. So 100 meters down, lane 3's Maria McDougall leading the way, followed by Emily McKenzie over in lane 6. So Maria McDougall over in lane 3 starting to pull away from the rest of the field. Maria's entered with a time of 6:05.04. Close battle for that second, third, and fourth position between lane 6's Emily McKenzie entered with a time of 6:05.60. Yale Bloom in lane 5, 6:02.25. And Taryn McDonald, lane 4, is entered with a time of 5:59.90. So Taryn Donnelly, the only one with the entry time under 6 minutes. So we'll see if we can get any other of these swimmers under that big 6-minute mark. Alright, still Maria McDougall having a great swim over in lane 3. Swimming all by herself, clear water. As her teammates, Taryn Donnelly, Yale Bloom, and Emily McKenzie fight things out for the 2nd and 3rd and 4th position. Running in 5th place right now, that's Avery Stade, followed by her teammate Finley McCauley. Meters to go for Maria McDougall. She's having a very strong swim. A reminder, her entry time was a 6:05.04, so she's going to be way under that time. And now the battle between Taryn Donnelly and Yaren Bloom heating up as they have 75 meters to go. And Maria McDougall, 5:10.49. Great swim by Maria McDougall, taking off so much time. As these two swimmers, Taryn Donnelly and Yale Bloom, come in, and it is Yale Bloom, 5:25.79, followed by Taryn Donnelly, 5:26.19. So great swims by all those ladies, getting under the 6 minute and getting under it by a lot. 4th place will go to Emily McKenzie, 5:40.11. Avery Stade will come in touching a time of 5:47.76. And Finley McCauley over there looking to get under that 6 minute mark. And she'll touch 5:57.56, so all swimmers underneath that 6 minute mark. Great swims by all those swimmers, and great swimmers across the board by the Trojans. So wrapping up, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Swim Nova Scotia and officials and swimmers who stepped up to time. My name is Brian Bell. Have a great weekend, everyone.